So welcome to Boxing Media Hub, sponsored by Falcon Contracting and boxbets.co.uk. And we've been out, special guest. I've got Caoimhin Agyarko. How you doing, Caoimhin? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, Joel. Horse things.
Yeah, really good. Thanks, mate. Loving the t-shirt.
one of the Black Thunder fight t-shirts.
Who came up with the nickname?
Do you know what? I was on a night out with one of my friends just after I was still an amateur. I just won one of my fights in the WSB, and we were on a night out, and one of my friends just started calling. He was drunk, and he just started calling me Black Thunder, and I just remember thinking then that I was going to keep that name for when I turned pro. So yeah, it just stuck, and I never had a boxing name growing up because I always wanted an original name. I didn't really want to copy someone else's name. So whenever he started calling me Black Thunder, I was like, that's the one.
What comes out of a night out? Do you know what I mean? Normally stays on a night out, but this
exactly.
This one ain't too bad, mate. This one ain't too bad. This one can stick. But yeah, fantastic career so far. 14 fights, 14 wins, 7 knockouts. On a roll, mate.
Yeah, good. Obviously, good career so far. Unbeaten. Good win last time out against Troy Williamson, and unfortunately, I think the last maybe year and a half, obviously 2 years, I've been a bit inactive. I picked up a couple of injuries and haven't been as active as I wanted to be. But with them injuries have healed now, and obviously I got a good win last time out in my home city of Belfast, and looking to push on there.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. What an absolute buzz that must have been to come out in front of all that Belfast crowd.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was surreal, to be honest with you. I dreamt of stuff like that since I was a kid. I remember going when I was like 12, 13, 14 years old to watch Tyson Fury in the Odyssey, watching James DeGale box there, or not James DeGale. James DeGale was there one night, but Chris Eubank boxed there. Carl Frampton obviously headline a lot of times. So growing up watching them and fight there, and I always dreamt of fighting there, and to doing a massive fight on a massive card was unbelievable. The buzz was unreal. The support and atmosphere was insane. So I hope to do it a lot more in the future.
Because your fight was, when your fight was announced, everyone was like, mate, this is fight of the night.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was I think a lot of the fights on the card were meant to be one-sided. And me and Troy was a real 50-50 fight in terms of, I actually said, I openly said that Troy should be the kind of the favorite going into the fight, because he had proven himself. He's British champion. He had a great win against Cheeseman and stuff like that, and I hadn't really beat anyone. So obviously I've beat unbeaten fighters and decent fighters, I'd say C-level fighters, but yeah, it was one of them ones where everyone was excited about it, and hope that our styles gelled.
Yeah. While we're sticking to Troy, quickly, someone's jumped in and said, can you ask his opinion on Troy versus Davis? I'm thinking Troy. Oh, so do you know what? That's another cracking fight. You talked about yours, but that's just as competitive, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, because I've fought Troy and I've sparred Davis 2 camps ago, so it's a great one. And do you know what? Fair play to Troy for taking the fight, because he's coming off a loss against me, and he could have went and took an easy fight and tried to rebuild himself. But obviously he's a bit older now and whatever else, so it might have taken a while. It's a real tough fight. It depends what Troy Williamson has left.
Yeah.
Did I take too much out of him? Did the fight before that with Josh Kelly take too much out of him? Do you know what I mean? This is his real last roll of the dice, and obviously Ismail Davis is a very good fighter, unbeaten, but he hasn't fought anyone like Troy. I know they've sparred a lot of rounds together, and they're kind of friends and whatnot, but it's an interesting fight, because I do rate Ismail Davis. I think he's a good fighter, and Troy Williamson. Do you know what I mean? He'll come to break your heart. So it'll be an interesting fight. I don't really want to give my prediction on that one.
I don't blame you. It's just more of an intriguing. That as soon
Oh,
as they
yeah.
announced it, I thought, wow, Troy's, to be fair, it'd come off a loss to you, and then he's going straight into another barnstormer. He's not resting, is he? He wants to be in those fights and he wants to give it, and it just shows, what Troy's all about as well, doesn't it? But
Yeah, and I think he kind of had to take that fight to kind of revive his career. If he wins this fight, he's straight back in them top fights. If not, he kind of has to retire. But at least he's went out on giving it his all and fighting two good fighters.
yeah, I've got Jam here. He's put, hi guys, hope you're well. Would Caoimhin want the rematch with Troy as it was scored as a split decision?
Well, if anyone wants that fight, they know it wasn't a split decision. You can't two judges can't score 98, 92, and 97, 93. And if you go on, I can't remember whose Instagram it is, but Troy's coach actually came out and said that judge should never judge a fight again. We lost the fight. It's simple as that. So no, there would be no reason for a rematch. I think the split decision does taint the win for me a bit. It kind of makes it look like it was close when it wasn't. I personally scored it, being harsh on myself. I personally scored a 97, 93. But I'm my biggest critic, so others might have scored it differently.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was a completely one-sided fight. I think it was competitive, but I don't think there would be a need for a rematch because it would be the. Do you know what? It would be the same outcome, but worse. I think I was a bit too cautious in the fight, and I would go for the stoppage. I went for it in the last round, the last 30 seconds, and I hurt Troy. I would know to start a lot quicker. So there would be no need for the rematch.
Fair shout, mate. Fair shout. I think everyone agrees, to be fair, in regards to when it was a split, people kind of go, oh, okay, well, it's another one of these. Do you know what I mean? We see it a lot as well. I think that's the thing. I was impressed with his win over Jez Smith and Latinos Jr. To be honest, impressive young man is Caoimhin. So you've got the fans, mate.
I got the fans. I appreciate that. Do you know what? I think the Jez Smith fight was probably my best fight, best performance to date. I really had to dig in deep. I had a lot of things going on in the background. I probably shouldn't have fought because I'd hurt my hand 10 days out. And when when I started getting tough in there in round 5, 6, I really put my foot in the pedal. And I think people seen a side of Caoimhin Agyarko that they probably haven't seen since. But that Caoimhin Agyarko will be back very soon. I've got over these injuries. I've got a big win under my belt, and it's time to kick on and start that KO train again.
Yeah, and as you say, I think having the name of Troy on your resume is going to kick you up, isn't it? It's going to put more eyes on you as well. I think regardless of whether it's a split at the end of the day, it's a win. I think that's how we've got to look at it, haven't we? Judges do the most bizarre things. We won't go too much into it, but it does happen from time to time. And hopefully, as you say, May is the next time you're hoping to be out.
Yeah, hopefully I'd love to fight on the Katie Taylor card, Chantel card, if that happens in May. Don't know what's happening. I've been told it's going to be made. I've been told that it's not going to be made. So I'm just waiting. I'm in the gym now. I'm back in Liverpool training hard, and I'll be ready I want them big, meaningful fights. I want to chase down the European title, and I just want to be in big fights.
And as I say, these Irish cards are exciting, aren't they? Every time there's a card that's announced in Ireland, there's just some fantastic fights on them now. It seems to be a place that people want to be seeing the fights again.
Yeah, definitely. It's Irish boxing is booming at the moment. There's a lot of great talent coming out of Ireland, and there's a lot of shows being held back in Ireland now. So it's great to be a part of them. I actually just heard today that Dillian White is fighting Christian Hammer in Ireland, so which is an interesting one. So listen, Irish boxing's booming, and it's great for Ireland.
Moving away from Ireland and moving slightly over towards Texas way, we also heard about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
we'll leave it there, shall we?
You know what? From a business standpoint, I understand it. I do listen, if someone's able to make millions and millions of pounds and fighting someone like Mike Tyson, it taints Mike Tyson's reputation because he's a 58 27-year-old man. What's he doing coming out of retirement to fight Jake Paul, who's 27? Now, if Mike Tyson goes out and exposes Jake Paul, then that's even better.
I was waiting for that, to be honest. That's the response I was waiting for.
Yeah, but I don't think that happens. Jake Paul should go out and beat Mike Tyson, which is bizarre to say, but Jake Paul annoys me because he claims he's going to be a world champion. He calls Canelo and all these fighters out and says he's going to do this, that, and the other, but he hasn't fought a legitimate fighter. He hasn't fought anyone to put him in the rankings to say that he can be a world champion. Now, I do agree that I do think that he has improved with each fight, but he's fighting nobodies. And if you want credibility, you're going to have to step up to the plate and fight someone at some stage. Yeah. Keep fighting old men or basketball players, NBA players, whatever it may be, but no one's going to take you serious. And sooner or later, people aren't going to tune in to watch it. But it's not boxing anymore. It's a business and it's an entertainment. So
yeah,
which breaks my heart to say because I'm a boxing purist. I don't care about money. I want to be the first Black Irish world champion. I'm in this sport to be a world champion, and so I don't really care if you just want to go over there and do your own thing and make a few quid. Who am I to stop someone or to have an opinion on someone making money? But just don't taint the sport. Don't associate it with proper boxing because it's not proper boxing.
No, I think the good thing that is going to come out of it is they spoke about that it's going to be live on Netflix, which gives another platform out there to put boxing out there. You know, we've got loads of people joining the game and coming forward now, so it's exciting for boxing in that respect, and more eyes on the sport. It's just what you want is then an undercard of real fights underneath that, so that people can go, that's boxing. Do you know what I mean? That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think it's obviously it's getting a wider audience and a bigger platform for fighters maybe to potentially fight on Netflix or whatever in the future. But yeah, definitely. Listen, there's always pros and cons with stuff like this.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Jammer said Spike is fighting on the white card too, as is Ray Moylett. So there's a good couple of Irish lads. Well, I say a couple of Irish lads. Spike's he's getting on now. I know Spike really well. He's a top guy.
Yes, Spike is a top guy. I didn't really call him out, but it was a fight maybe a couple of fights ago that I thought would have been a great fight for me. Obviously, I don't think that'll ever happen now. But Spike's a great lad. He's a great character.
And question for you, mate: would Caoimhin fight Jake Paul out in Saudi for the €1 million?
Hand on heart. Now I've always said it. I would fight Jake Paul with a hangover, and I would do it. I would do it for free. And if the money was given to me, I would give it to charity because it would be like beating a dog.
Yeah,
it would be like beating a dog with a stick. So it's not a problem at all. If you ever listen to Jake Paul, hit my phone up. I'll give you your first loss.
But you know he won't. You know he won't.
Exactly,
this, as you say, this is the frustrating thing. People said, "Oh, his real test is Tommy Fury." No offense to Tommy Fury, but that's the nearest he's had to a boxer, isn't it? In that respect,
and he lost. Do you know what I mean? So
that was the first step up, as it were.
That was the first step up, and now he's just went backwards. Do you know what I mean? To make a few quid. Like, no, I know Tommy, and he's a great lad, and he's a learning fighter. Do you know what I mean? But he's a novice pro, and I think he would agree himself. I don't think he had any amateur experience or very little amateur experience, and he's learning on the job, and he beat Jake Paul. So it just shows what Jake's about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And James just come in and said, "I love this man."
I love you too, James.
But no, honestly, great times ahead for you, mate. As I say, the career you've had so far, as you say, you've had those stop-start moments due to injury, but coming off the back of the win against Troy, I think, has put your name back in there again. And then obviously May is going to be the next step up. And then who knows? Who knows what's ahead, as you say, with the way boxing's going.
Exactly.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, no, hopefully by the end of the year I can fight for a European title and then push on the world level. If a bigger fight without a European title came ahead to push on the world level, I would take it. But I always think you can't skip levels in boxing, and I want to fight for a European title and then push on the world level.
Is that something you've always had your eye on? Is the European?
Yeah, definitely. For me, like, the British title doesn't really hold any. It's a great title to win, and it gets you in the ranking and stuff. But as an Irish fighter, it hasn't really appealed to me. But I've always said a European title and then world level. So hopefully I can fight for a European title, win that, and then push on.
And we'll end on this one. Future world champion right here, and the first ever Black Irish champ.
Yep, definitely.
Well, Caoimhin, thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and I wish you all the best for the future. The best is yet to come, I think it's fair to say.
Definitely. Appreciate it. And thanks for having me on. It means a lot.
No problem. As I say, follow him on all of his socials. Give him your support, guys. Hit the subscribe button. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Stay in touch.
Speak soon.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.